playoffs, we are reminded the brilliance, the greatness of Joel Embiid, and yet he's still a player people like to clown on for him always getting injured. I mean, there's a new injury you learn about because of Joel Embiid, but still, he musters up whatever he needs to. He takes whatever organs he has left, and he fucking goes out there and plays. It drops 32. I mean, last season in the playoffs against the Knicks, half of his face was like frozen and shit, and he dropped 50. Couldn't blink, dropped 50 points. This playoffs, he miraculously got back in time to play game 4. You know, the Sixers got blown out. The following game, game 5, elimination game. Things weren't going well for him and the Sixers. But in the second half, he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go off. And he did. 32 points, 33 points in this game against Boston, keeping the Sixers alive in the series, putting it 3-2, heading back to Philly now for game 6. But this was all Embiid. 33 points. Nikola Vucevic had no answer for him. And Embiid realized that, hey, why am I chucking all these threes? Why am I shooting the mid-range? Let me just put my shoulder down and attack Vooch. And yeah, that was it. And even Kata, he dream shaked on Kata. So Embiid was just in that mode when he has his mind made up that there's nothing you could do to stop me. There's nothing you could do to stop him. This is the most dominant player in the game recently. One of the most skilled players all time. It doesn't matter what injuries he has. 32 in his sleep. It's light. So seeing a game like this just reminds you how good this dude is. Top 5 player in the NBA, regardless. Not even if he's healthy. Like, whatever he has, he's a top 5 player in the NBA. If he were to ever be healthy, what if? Like, if he could be healthy for a whole season, be healthy for a whole playoffs, I don't know what bro could do. I don't know what he could do over his career either if he was able to not have the worst luck possible of any star. But his physicality ignited this team. You see Paul George, you see Quentin Grimes, Tyrese Maxey, all these guys be able to start hitting shots. The pull-up game was working. The gravity he was pulling when he's in the paint, dominating, being a menace. Yeah, everybody's getting open looks. Tyrese Maxey's getting confidence because, you know, Embiid's playing that bully ball. The Celtics have no answer. Everybody else is like, let me get in that mode too. And so the Sixers went from down double-digit points in the third quarter to having a pretty good lead in the fourth and continuing that on. Paul George was great defensively. Quentin Grimes was great defensively as well. They were all both knocking down shots, and Tyrese Maxey had 25. VJ was the only one that really was struggling from the field, but I'm pretty sure he'll be good in game 6. This is just like Joel Embiid doesn't get enough credit for what he's been doing. He consistently gets hurt, but consistently goes out there. If he has a pulse and he can play, he's going out there and playing, laying it all on the line for his team, for the city of Philadelphia. He wants to win. Tyrese Maxey, VJ, I know on the bright side, those are 2 guys you could build around. Those are the future. Trading Embiid seems like a smart strategic decision. But this is somebody that just could go out there and be the best player on the court. Doesn't matter who's on the court. Jokic, Luka, these top players in the court. Shea, it don't matter who's on the court. Wemby, he gave Wemby like 50 or he gave him 60, I think. It doesn't matter who's on the court opposite. You can have the best player on the court with Embiid. I know Tyrese Maxey, like I said, he's a good player. He keeps developing. I don't think he's a number 1 option on the championship team. Embiid could be a number 1 option on the championship team. The injuries are going to come, but you miss out on performances like this. This is an elimination game. Tatum, Brown, those guys were not better than Embiid. And this is a type of physicality that changes the series. This series looks completely different with Embiid in the mix. So before this game, I'm ready to say trade Embiid. I'm ready to say fuck the process. But Embiid reels you back in with brilliance like this. Embiid has the 6th most 30-point performances by a center in NBA history. And if you factor in that he's never gotten past the second round, that is insane. And you factor in how many games he's missed in the playoffs too, with an injury, that's insane. Or you factor in how many injuries he's had when he's played, it's insane what Embiid has been. It's insane the type of player he is. Greatest what if? Yes. I like the what if for Derrick Rose. I like the what if for a lot of other players, but Derrick Rose, me being Bulls fan bias aside, that's my answer. seeing him fully healthy, he'd be a Hall of Famer, probably have a ring for the Bulls. But Embiid, if he was healthy, he'd probably be the best player of all time. And even with the injuries, he's still skill, talent, dominance. He's in that category. So I'm not ruling shit out with Embiid now. And I just want to see another game like this. I want to see this continue. I want to see it go game 7 and him get an opportunity because everything he's, done for the city, the effort, the type of star he is, regardless of what's happened to him. I honestly think he should get a statue in Philadelphia. I know he really hasn't won much, just an MVP, but he deserves something for him laying it on the line for the city continuously.
Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.